Rebuts, was there pressure on you in any way from the Adanis, for example, to sell to them?
Vishnu, there was absolutely no pressure from Adani Group or anyone else for us to sell Mumbai Airport. And let me explain the background to this transaction. Maybe a year before that itself, we were looking at fundraising because in our airport holding company, we had raised debt about nearly 10 years ago when we did the acquisition of Bangalore Airport. And that debt was becoming due. So we were talking to a number of investors and we had tied up with 3 investors, global investors. One is ADIA, second is PSP of the Canadian Pension Fund, and third is NIIF, who is the Indian country fund. And they together had agreed to invest in this company, which would help us repay the debt. However, they had a lot of conditions precedent, like any international investor would have. And after we signed the deal, then we hit COVID. For 3 months, the airport business was completely shut. And we had zero revenue. Obviously, that put more financial pressure on us. And so we were trying to work with them to conclude the transaction quickly, which was not happening. So around the same time, Gautam Bhai approached me and he said that he has a lot of interest in Mumbai Airport and whether we are willing to do a transaction with him at the same terms and conditions. But the only difference being that he said he will assure that we'll conclude the entire transaction in 1 month.
Sure, but
which was very important for us.
The key allegation...
from that perspective, whatever we did was in the interest of the company and the lenders who we had to repay. And so therefore we closed the transaction with Adani because we didn't see any light of day with the other investors.
Right. Now, what about the central allegation mentioned today of the CBI or the Enforcement Directorate probing you or putting pressure on you, which forced you to sell?
No, I think the circumstances under which this happened is clearly what I had mentioned in the first question. So there was no such thing that happened other than what I told you in the first question. There was no pressure from anybody at all.
Right, but what was asserted or stated in Parliament today, how would you respond to that?
So as far as I am concerned, clearly, we had done this deal with Gautam Adani because of the fact that it was a need of the company. We had to repay lenders and there was no pressure from anybody else at all. Now, as far as other aspects of what is being said in Parliament or otherwise, I would not like to comment because I don't want to get into the politics of it.
No, but in terms of the transaction itself, how was the entire transaction handled as far as you were concerned? I mean, you've said there wasn't any pressure, but how was it handled?
See, I know Gautam Bhai for some time and the transaction was very smooth because one thing I find with him is that he deals directly. He brings nobody else. So it was just me and him, just 2 of us. It took us less than a week to be able to close everything. As far as the agreement is concerned, it was very simple, it was very straightforward. We didn't have much of conditions precedent. The time frame was very specific so that we could conclude it immediately and take care of the lenders, which was our top priority. And he also gave comfort to lenders saying that he will give do this fast so that they don't need not worry. So my dealing with him has been excellent. I have no issues at all with my dealings with him. And whatever was committed, whatever was the understanding, he kept it up and concluded it
all right.
so that we can take care of our lenders and which was in the interest of the company as well.